everyone. Hello. Today is a very unusual day. I have never ever done this before. This is the very first time. Those of you who've been with the channel for a while will know that I have always bought all my games and collector's editions myself. However, this box was sent to me from Australia, from the publisher's agents, and as you can probably see, it is Biomutant. I have PoodlePa today, fortunately, to do the camera for me. It is essential because with such a big box, it's kind of hard to capture just with a static camera. Biomutant Atomic Edition. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when they discussed it with me. I thought just a, normal size collector's edition. All I can say is we will have a look and see what's inside. And you can probably see the illustration here on the top. Oops. Okay, it says diorama on the top, so I assume this will be a big display item. Dioramas appear to be rather popular these days. A lot of publishers are doing them. So I'll just get that and this bit out of the box. So that took 2 pairs of hands to get out of the box. So this is exactly how it came out of the box, the diorama, and it appears to have a front opening flap, so I'll try and get that open. And yeah, so we need to do this in stages because it's so massive. Try and get that out, but before we do that, I think it might be easier just to dive into this small box. This looks a lot easier, so let's do that first. So there's a few items in here, and look at that. A beautiful steel case. I'll just open it up so you can see both sides. And that's the inside. Official soundtrack. And I will have a look at it, but I expect there will be digital rights copyright on it, so I may not be able to use music from it for the background here. This looks like a t-shirt. Let's have a quick look. I can just see myself walking around the retired suburban neighbourhood here in provincial New Zealand with a shirt saying Biomutant. I wonder what kind of looks I will get. That could be interesting. It does feel nice and soft, the material, and not too thin. So yes, that's a nice quality t-shirt. And this looks like a very sheeny, shiny cloth. which will happily grace any suburban home. It's got quite a silky feel to it, and it is very shiny. Would you agree, PoodlePa? It is quite shiny. Has it got a bit of sparkle on it? No, it's... So it has at the bottom the name of the developer, Experiment 101 in Sweden, published and distributed by THQ Nordic in Austria, all rights reserved. And I do know that getting a realistic figure, an image like that, onto any cloth and to look still good is actually not that easy. But you know me, I tend to not hang cloths on the wall. I tend to use the cloths for covering up things like TVs or equipment, you know, or just for decoration on the sofa, whatever. So, polystyrene box for the diorama. Next step of the excavation, and we need to get all that sellotape off. So PoodlePa and I will be doing that. I won't inflict the sounds of that onto you. So we're ready to lift the polystyrene, and there are two sides to the box. So I'll just get the first item out, and that's clearly the base of the diorama display unit. And here we have all the other items. I think we have a small job ahead putting it all together, PoodlePa and I. Oh, he is heavy. He's enormously heavy. So we will try now and fit it all together. Here we are, about an hour and a half later. I will tell you the story in a moment of putting together the diorama, but I've got to finish the unwrapping. There is here a keyboard mat and mouse mat, it says, and I'll get that out of the box while PoodlePa will try and show you a bit of detail of the diorama. This is an amazing mat. I've honestly never seen one like it before. It is very soft, spongy and thick, and the printing on it is matte colour. It's honestly, it's beautifully finished, and I would say you could do some deluxe PC gaming and comfort with that, having your keyboard and your mouse on it. My table is not big enough to hold it. PoodlePa, I need a new table. I have a very constricted space for my PC setup. This could be a display item on a hallway table, something like that. I'm really impressed with this mat. And undoubtedly you've noticed that it is the same pictures on the front of the box. So we have actually unwrapped and unboxed everything. I hope you're getting a good look of the diorama. This fella here, and I don't know the character of course, I don't know whether he's an enemy, a boss or something. is not just big, he is incredibly heavy. So we had, the first problem we had was fitting his feet onto the pegs, because the plastic is quite stiff, it's not very yielding, and it took literally all of PoodlePa's strength to basically brute force the feet onto the base. It took us a while to realise that there are two little support acrylics, and one is needed for the hand here, because he's leaning forward and he's so heavy, he was sagging all the time, so his weapon was too low, so we couldn't fit the small second character, so everything has to fit together, and he looks quite cute, I think. He's one of those little rodent-like mutants, I would think, with a flying scarf. He's holding on to the sword. Obviously he has to sit on an acrylic peg. Getting all that into place, because the holes for everything are not really precision drilled, I'd have to say. It was quite a job. These little lightning forks coming out of the, from the sword, they're just brittle plastic, and two of them literally snapped. Not when we were trying to fit them, just taking them out of the box and looking at them, they literally snapped. So PoodlePa got out the old glue and we tried to fit it all back together. It is a very large display piece. I think you need a bit of room to display it. That, if you put that on a crowded shelf, I don't think that would work. While we were putting it together, because I was just looking at individual bits and all the issues around fitting them together, I didn't really have time to look at the detail work on it. But in the end, you need to sit back and just take it in as a whole. I think they were very ambitious when this figurine was designed. I have not seen many of that size and with that detail, and the position of the characters is, quite challenging. I would say they almost got there. Some of the materials defeated them, like the hard plastic base and the little brittle lightning pieces. The rest of it is well finished. You can actually feel the textile on the character, what they're wearing. Some of it is real textile material. Overall, I probably would have liked it to have a bit more colour. We have a lot of browns, a lot of dun colours, muted greens, browns, greys, probably realistic considering the environment they live in, but for a display piece, you want something with a bit of definition, a bit more definition, I would say. They try to realistically reproduce the look of the characters, obviously from the game, I assume. The effect of the sword slicing into this very large, it's obviously a homemade weapon with wood at the top and the sparks coming out here. That is quite a daring effect to achieve, I think. Yes, a bit more colour overall, I think, would have livened it up a bit more. That would be my comment so far. To finish, this is a promotional collector's edition sent to me by the publisher's agents in Australia. I thank them for taking the trouble of sending this humongous box to New Zealand. I mean, my jaw nearly dropped when PoodlePa lumbered with the box to our garage. I remember in the old days we used to have promo copies of physical games. I've got a few. You can see it says here at the top of the disc, a promo only, not for resale. So that's how I remember a lot of them were sent out to reviewers, businesses. I happen to have this because I won that in a giveaway from one of our retailers in New Zealand, and they obviously received promotional material. I was also provided with a digital copy for the PS4. So what I will do is I will start playing the game because I obviously want to give you all my first impressions. I will also purchase, as I intended, a physical copy of the game here in New Zealand. I had always meant to buy it at some point and to add it to my game collection. It is labelled an RPG after all, so that is really all I have to show you today. The Atomic Edition contains a very, very beautifully finished shiny cloth poster, an enormous diorama. If you were contemplating getting this, be ready with a few small tools and some glue and plenty of time to put it together. I wasn't sure whether we'd actually manage it, but we did in the end. You will get a t-shirt. And the nice thing about this t-shirt is that it's quite a simple design. It's fairly understated, you know, it's not one of those blatant ones. So I think it's a nice t-shirt, and it feels nice quality. A soundtrack presented in a very nice little cardboard sleeve. The steel book. And apart from the boxing materials, the absolutely amazing keyboard and mouse mat. I will do my best to get the companion video with my recorded footage and comments about the game together as quickly as I can manage. I won't rush it because I want to give you, as always, my thoughts properly. It is goodbye from the Biomutants, from PoodlePa and me. We always appreciate you watching our sometimes extraordinary unboxings. Please keep well. I'm Food for Dogs. Bye bye.